what you're around every day. And it's so good to embed like these elements and you know, almost flavoring like right into like visual art and use it in a different way. It's just like, it's like making a cocktail on a canvas, like truly. So. St. George is one of my favorites. It's like this big, meaty, powerful, like tasting absinthe, and it's become one of my favorites. So I kind of did this just as a tip of the cap, and I have some bird feathers in here too, just to kind of add like that weird, you know, element. And you know, put a spider inside the container, just because it's like, I don't want to say absinthe's toxic because it's so cool, but it has such a reputation for that kind of thing, yeah. And like that darker side. So I definitely had to incorporate that. We're in such a cocktail renaissance that because I have, you know, these skills. And I'm, you know, cross-trained with the bar. There's a part of me that feels like it's my responsibility to like put this kind of new style of bar art out there. Lots of times where I know where to put a certain label too, I kind of like blur my eyes out and I see like highlights or dark spots, and like that's where I affix them. And it's really fun to work with blending the labels into and embedding them into the canvas so that they stand out enough. Because I don't want my art to be like so well beautifully blended in that it loses its like expression, you know, that it loses like its character. So I try to find like a really good balance of letting them shine, because I want to put it on stage, you know, and the label's the way of saying I want to put the spirit on stage. When you bartend a lot, you really just get brand loyalty. I mean, they're so good to spend time with you and tell them why their products are done so well. And it's such an art. I mean, making bourbon, for example, is so like particular and specific, and it's just such a beautiful process. So yeah, and then you start to build these pigments and build these atmospheres and just try to capture it. Sometimes I even just use like actual alcohol, like a vodka or whatever I have on hand. I mean, try to use mineral spirits, but maybe I like the smell of whiskey or something better. Although I feel like really bad for wasting good spirits, like taking paint off. But when the painting smells of bourbon and bitters, it's exactly what it was supposed to be. So it kind of like gains that. I just find bitters, and especially Angostura bitters, like the classic from Trinidad, it's just so rich and saturated in color. basically have like the same shade, but if you apply, I mean, sometimes the layers themselves are 20, 30 layers deep, and so by adding them on top of each other, it gets richer and richer, and you can neutralize them down a little bit by adding like kind of like a neutral drop of acrylic ink in there or something. I make art for me, and I describe things, I try to describe things in a way that I see them. I'm just trying to like make this art for like-minded individuals that love it as much as I do. I mean, obviously anybody that appreciates it, you know, I want them to have some or have a print. But the real like driving force is all the people I've bartended with, all the cocktail events. I mean, there is such a love for this craft, and so I'm just trying to portray that the best I can.